So in this lecture 10, you'll be learning how to use inline, internal and external CSS. So let's get started. You have to create a folder. Create folder. I have created a folder in my desktop, and the name of the folder is CSS Fundamental. Then I open the folder in my Visual Studio Code. Let me close this. So I open the folder in my Visual Studio Code. Okay, let me click on my Explorer here. I can open the folder here, or I use this option, or I open it through the file option here. Then just locate the folder. So which anyone. So you just locate the folder you just created, any location where you created it. So now the desktop aspect, in the desktop directory, you can select folder. Then let your folder be indexed in Visual Studio Code. So I'm going to delete this. Let me delete this. So it is because I already created it. Okay, let me just delete this. Okay, so in my folder I'm having a blank. Okay, I'm having a blank folder which is CSS Fundamental. So now to create file inside the folder, all I just need to do is click on the new file option here, click on it, index.html, and click on enter. So since I want to populate the file with the default HTML snippet, so all I just need to do is press my shift key on the keyboard, then press the exclamation mark sign. So mostly it is always found on number 1 key on every keyboard. So click on it, shift, then 1. The exclamation option should come up. You select the first one, then we have this. So change the title to CSS Fundamental. Okay, so then let me add some H1 tag. So I'll be having I love to code with map. Okay, so there you go. I have this. Let me try to run this code, then we can proceed. I will run this code. Let me try to minimize my screen. I should have something like this. Okay, there you go. You can see I love to code with map. So now let me try to add. Let's start with the first one on my list here. Okay, just a moment. Okay, let's start with inline styling. Okay, so now how do we start with inline styling? It is very simple. I'm going to be using this first option here. So I will go to the immediately after my H1, you can see the option here. So I'll give space, then I will type style, then I will type color. So this I'll be using this color attribute, and I'll be assigning it to let me pick green for instance. Now by so doing, you check your browser, you can see automatically I have overridden this color. I have changed it to green. So that is an example of an inline styling. So let's try to do some little workaround. Let me have some other tag. Let me just say H3 for instance. Okay, this okay, for instance, now let me try to add some styling to this. Let me just, so this is inline styling. So let me try to add, let me change the color as well. Let me say red. Okay, let me just use this, and let me add some border style. So I'll be using 3 pixel. So 3 pixels solid. And what is the color of my border? I'll be using let me use yellow for instance. yellow is too sharp. Let me even use the same color that is here. Okay, now look at it. Look at this. Look at what happened. So the essence is this. I have styled. I pick the color. The color is going to be assigned to any value found in between the h3 tag. So, and to assign a border around this h3 tag, and the border I'm assigning solid so that it can. The solid option is actually the thickness of this border sign, so and so on and so forth. So if I don't like the color, the default color the border has actually picked, because the border inherited its color from the text color here. So if I want to change the border color, I can actually use another color. So maybe I just want to use green, for instance. So cool, we should have something like this. So that is example 1. So let's move to the next example. So let's move to the second option, which is internal styling. So I'm going to clean this. I'm going to clean this. So the first one we did is inline styling. So how do we do internal styling? Just type style, then you press the tab key, press enter. So I want to grab my h1 tag here. So what I'm going to do is h1, press, then you use the curly brackets. How do you use curly brackets? It's very simple. Once you type, for instance, I want to grab my h1 from the HTML, press your shift. The curly bracket is always, let me bring up my my keyboard here. Okay, now look at my keyboard. So how we, let me try to access. Okay, this is what I'm actually talking about, this particular portion. Let me bring it up back. Okay, I'm talking about this. So now, how do you access it? You press your shift, then you press this curly brackets, then by default the closing bracket should come up. So let me pick it now, my h1 tag, then I have this automatically. You can see, then I can press enter to give in space. So what attribute did I have? Let me pick color, and let me use something different from what we have used before. Let me use tomato. So yes, look at it, what has happened. So this is inline styling. So let me pick the second one, which is my h3. So then the same process, just follow the same process. You have to learn how to use keyboard shortcuts. It will help you save a lot of time. So let me just grab okay, let's use the same styling procedure we did earlier. So let's see what's happened. Let me use blue here. Then I'm using blue border. So let me pick my border as let me see 2 pixel. That's the size, and solid, or let me use dotted. Then let me pick yellow, or let me pick red, for instance. Okay, so you can see now. You can see I use dotted, so you can see the border is dotted and the border color is red. So, and I can ultimately also style this particular what's it called, page. I can. Okay, so before I move on, let's move to the third one, which is external styling. So I'm gonna clean this. We open my browser. I'm gonna create another file, which is style.css. Press enter. Cool. So then I'll go to my index.html. In the head tag, I should have something like this. In the head tag, it must be in between the head tag. Remember, the style was written in between the head tag. So I will have link. Press your tab. You can see. So this rel is talking about relationship. The relationship is style sheet, and this href is talking about the location of that file. So while we have style, because that's the name, style.css, press your tab. You can see. So which means even if I click on follow link, it will take me to this place. Then